You the guy looking for card draw?
I got some. What do you need? Oh, you need removal. And yeah, I got the serial number scratched off them too. Completely unregistered removal. Yeah, you let me know. You let me know. Meet me over here.
Let's talk about Parnesse. This commander, when she first dropped, let's read her first before I go on my tangent. Parnesse's 2, a blue, a black, and a red. For a 4/4, whenever you or a permanent you control is the target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, it gets countered unless they pay 4 life. Which is going to come into play here in a second. Whenever you copy a spell, up to one target opponent may also copy that spell, and if it has targets, they may choose new targets. I've been wanting to build Parnesse for a while. I've kind of like test built her a couple times and been like, okay, she's group hug. She's giving other people stuff. And then if that stuff is like removal or anything that targets, they can't target us unless they want to pay life. But then it's like, it's running a group hug deck, and there's so many other way better options for group hug. And then if you're trying to like slot in win cons, it feels a little bit more political. So I thought maybe we leaned full in political, and I tried building like test versions of it that were full on politics decks. And then it was like, it still felt like politics wasn't summing up what I was trying to do enough for me to be able to look for cards for it. And it just felt like very loose. It just felt like it wasn't really doing anything, especially with Parnesse as the commander, where it's just like her whole thing is you're giving opponents stuff, which reads very group huggy, but then the paying for life if they target your stuff reads kind of political. But neither one of those was quite summing it up. So may I introduce to you the new strategy that I've came up with, that Parnesse came up with actually, that sums her up perfectly. Imagine if Group Slug and Group Hug kissed. That's Parnesse, and it's called Group Plug. Because you're giving people stuff that seems really appealing, but it might end up killing them, like an actual plug. And if you don't know what a plug is, I'm talking about I'm talking about an outlet. Totally. No, I'm talking about a drug dealer. We're the table's drug dealer. Sorry. We're going to give them what they think they need, but it's going to hurt them in the long run. There's honestly there's a lesson to this deck to be taught. So first things first, with Parnesse, the only way that opponents get copies of stuff is if we already have copied that spell. So we're going to be getting like 2 versions of the spell. They're going to be getting 1. So I think a good place to start is just we're going to need stuff that can consistently copy our instants and sorceries. So permanents that do that are going to be very good. Cards like Arcane Bombardment, which is going to exile our first instant or sorcery that we cast, and then cast every instant or sorcery in exile with it. Okay. Yeah. Wait till we get deeper into this deck. Double Vision copies all our instants and sorceries we play on an enchantment. Very good. Mirari copies our instants and sorceries if we pay an additional 3. Also very good. Swarm Intelligence, again, another enchantment that copies instants and sorceries, as well as some just straight up instants and sorceries that copy, like Display of Power, Teach by Example, Double Cast, Reiterate. Reiterate's extra good because you can buy it back, so that's like a reusable one. Very, very nice. Keep in mind these are like multifaceted in a deck like this because you don't have to be copying your own stuff. You can just copy other people's stuff and Parnesse still triggers. So if someone plays a big bomb spell, feel free to drop one of these spells and copy it. So now that we've set the groundwork for this deck, Parnesse gives our opponents copies of stuff when we copy them. We have plenty of ways to copy. Why are we Group Plug? Why isn't this just Group Hug? Why isn't this just politics? Well, here we go. Group Hug will be giving opponents stuff, not necessarily that they need. Group Hug can just be a deck that's just giving opponents stuff, but a lot of the time it's giving opponents stuff they need. Group Slug is about pinging opponents for doing anything. Now, if we make those marry, what would we expect here? Well, let's say we play a Sign in Blood and copy it. We go, anybody at the table want to draw 2 cards, lose 2? Anybody? Someone goes, yeah, I'll take 2, draw 2. Okay, you can draw 2, lose 2. I'll draw 4, lose 4. 1, we just got a ton of value off that. 2, the opponent is 2 life down, and we gave them 2 cards. If you want to check out my video about fair removal being OP, a lot of this will fit in that same category because we're going to be losing life along with them. Hey, we're losing life along with you. We're giving you cards to draw. Don't think about what's happening. She's Parnesse the subtle brush. She's not Parnesse the outright in the open brush. We Damnable Pact for 5 cards and lose 5. Copy it. we go, you know what? The copy's actually going to hit that guy over there. Do you want to draw? Who wants to draw 5, gain 5? Or who wants to draw 5, lose 5? Everyone at the table goes, me. You go, okay, my extra copy is actually going to target you. You're going to lose 5, draw 5. And then I'm going to pick you as the Parnesse trigger opponent. You can draw 5, lose 5. Or you can pick another opponent to do it if you want to. Again, everyone's getting drained for sizable chunks and drawing a lot of cards, so you're probably going to be their friend for a good chunk of the game where the group hug part comes in. There's 12 of these cards in this deck that will draw cards and lose life. Ambitious Cost, Ancient Craving, Blood Pact, Damnable Pact, Funeral Rites, Hoarder's Greed, Night's Whisper, Painful Truths. I can keep going. They all draw cards, lose life. We'll be copying these. We'll be drawing a ton of cards, losing life as well. So all the while we whittle them down. Now, I understand your question right now. No, just stop writing your comment, okay? Stop the clickety-clacking on the comment because I understand what you're going to say. In a lot of these cases, you have to lose life and draw a card. You can't pick a person. So won't you be losing more life than your opponents? Won't you be losing 4 for every 2 they're losing? Won't you be losing 8 for every 4 they're losing? We will. We will also be drawing 8 for every 4 they're drawing. So keep that in mind. We will be out drawing them. And also, we got a little drain/gain package here. Which is going to help us a ton, especially if we can copy the instants and sorceries out of this section. Blood Tithe is 3 and a black. Each opponent loses 3. We gain 3 for each life lost this way. With all the stuff we have in this deck to copy instants and sorceries, this is a very easy. Everyone loses 6, and we gain life equal to the amount of life lost this way, which is 18 life for 4 mana. That'll probably get us back from the life we're losing from the other spells. Creeping Bloodsucker will just make all the opponents lose 1. We gained 3 on our upkeep. Super good, just on a creature that just sits there and does that for us. That'll also help us recuperate. Sanguinate, each opponent loses X and we gain life to go to life lost. Imagine copying that. Pretty good. Siphon Soul makes everyone lose 2 and you gain life to go to life lost. We have Veto the Dusk Rose to give all of our stuff lifelink. If we gain life, the opponent loses it. Again, paired with any of the other stuff we've mentioned here, very good. Cruel Ultimatum, while being like a win con, also makes them lose life and we gain life, furthering the gap between us. And with the amount of card draw we're going to be doing, we're going to draw into plenty of this life gain, and this life gain will be able to recuperate the life we've lost from copying some of these card draws. Now, card draw is not the only thing you can dangle in front of an opponent to be like, do you need this right now? Maybe they need removal. Maybe someone at the table is playing a graveyard deck, and maybe someone else has a Rest in Peace. Well, you happen to have a Feed the Swarm in your hand, and you're going to play it and be like, listen, I'm going to get rid of a creature, but if you want to copy it, you can get rid of that enchantment you need to get rid of. Feed the Swarm, kill the enchantment, lose 2. They feel like nothing happened. They did lose 2. We're group plugging it, baby. Infernal Grasp, Murderous Rider, Parting Thoughts, Reckless Spite, Devour in Shadows. They all will make people lose life for destroying problems on the board. And everyone wants to destroy problems on the board at one point in time. So there you go, dude. It's on me, dude. First one's on me. And that's not all either. Maybe you need something specific. Maybe, we've all been there, someone at the table goes, man, all I need's that board wipe. If I could just top deck this board wipe, I'd be good. I could reset. And you go, dude, you say you need a board wipe? I got a Vampiric Tutor in my hand. I'll just play that, copy it. You go ahead and get yourself something, dude. You go ahead and lose 2, get yourself something. I'll be your best friend. Hopefully at this point in the game, I've pinged you enough that you're fairly low. And if you are, we've got pingers. We've got Keswick Flame Breather, Gutter Snipe, Gelectrode, Firebrand Archer, and Blood Tyrant, which are also going to be adding to the foot on the opponent's necks and going to try to help to bring home the game. We're not running all the pingers because I don't want this to just straight up be like a spell slingy pinger deck. We're running these ones because, one, they're powerful, low-costed, and again, we run plenty of card draw that we're going to be copying that we can draw into these fairly easily. In terms of recursion, because we are going to want to reuse some of these instants and sorceries we're playing, we've got Flood of Recollection, because I think it's just good. We get an instant or sorcery card back for 2. It's very good. Halo Forager is becoming one of my favorite cards. You've heard about it a million times on this channel. Sins of the Past is one that I don't think many people have heard of, and it's kind of cool. It's 4 and 2 black, sorcery. Until end of turn, you may play an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard without paying its mana cost, and then exile Sins from the Past and that card. It's cool. It's just a 6-drop that lets you recast an instant or sorcery from your graveyard for free in black. It's very interesting. I think in this deck it works. There's definitely some stuff that we'd like to pull out last minute. We have a ton of tools in here to use. And then also one that I wasn't sure where to put it is Reanimate, because we can just pull any big thing out of an opponent's graveyard into our side. You also lose life for doing it, so we can copy it and have an opponent do the same thing. It fits in the theme of the deck like super well. And then in terms of board wipe, we got Necrotic Hex because we don't have that many creatures, and if we're whittling them down, hopefully the 2/2 zombies might be able to win us the game. And then Deadly Tempest, which again, we don't have that many creatures. Each player loses life equal to the amount of creatures that were killed. Hopefully by that point in time, people have been able to build up board states a little bit, and we might be able to bring home a game too. Our board wipes kind of double as ways to bring home games, which I think is really nice actually. Outside of lands and mana ramp, that's pretty much it. Honestly, it was just a video I wanted to make because this commander has been like eluding me for like a year. I very much have wanted to make it. I've tried a couple different versions, and through the lens of those different deck archetypes, I just couldn't find a deck that worked with her. But through the lens of a group plug type archetype, she became like very, very cool, and she became like one of the only commanders I could think of that would fit that archetype, because every other one that came to my mind, I'm like, that's just group slug. That's not necessarily group plug where you're giving people spells that harm them. So it's interesting. I don't know. Let me know if you have any commanders that you think have fit this kind of theme, or if you've kind of had this similar thought about these kind of themes. Any cards that could go in this Parnesse list, I would love, because this is probably going to be a list I play. Of course, deck list is down in the description. Socials are in the description, everything like that. And yeah, much love, guys. Go play some Magic.
Perfect. In response, run 100 up. You think I'm mulligan a pub, you ain't one of us. Where's it at? Where's it at? Ain't noticing it, I'm right here. Boom big, I'm noticing it. My pedal to the metal like gilded. My pedal float shit like I killed it. Real shit, let this little nerd get a word.